We are now approaching Stockholm's royal palace, which is King Carl XVI Gustav's official residence and place of work. The palace has over 600 rooms spread over 7 floors, making it one of Europe's largest. Much of the palace is open to the public and is well worth a visit. It was here in Gamla Stan, the old town, that the city of Stockholm was founded. Today's city traces its roots back to the 13th century, when this small island acted as the boundary between the inland seas of the Baltic and Lake Mälaren. In the Middle Ages, Gamla Stan was surrounded by a wall, within which the buildings were packed closely together. Once the wall had ceased to serve its purpose, houses were built on top of it. Today, very few traces of those houses remain. The narrowest alley in Gamla Stan is named after a German merchant called Morten Trotzig, and is just 90 centimeters wide at its tightest point. Why not take a stroll through the maze of winding alleyways which still characterize this, the oldest part of our city? Straight ahead, we can see the Riddarholmen Church with its black steeple. The Riddarholmen Church is the only preserved medieval abbey in Stockholm, but for a couple of centuries it's been used as a cemetery for royalty and as a memorial church.
Stop 19. We can now stop at number 20, so we will stop here 19, then the next one will be 21 Celeste.
On the right-hand side, we'll soon pass the entrance to the metro station in Gamla Stan. You can recognize Stockholm's metro stations by the circular white signs with a blue T on them, which stands for Tunnelbanan, the Swedish word for underground or subway. The tracks continue on a bridge across the water on our right. The Stockholm Tunnelbana is composed of 100 stations, and almost all of them are decorated with some form of art, which is why Stockholm's metro is sometimes called the longest art exhibition in the world. We are now approaching Slussen, an important interchange which connects Gamla Stan with the largest of Stockholm's 14 populated islands, Södermalm. It's here at Slussen that the inland seas of the Baltic meet Lake Mälaren. Lake Mälaren is higher than the Baltic, creating strong currents here as the immense volume of water forces its way out to sea. This can be seen particularly clearly in the spring, when the melting ice creates a greater flow of water. These currents also mean that the waters of the Baltic are brackish. In other words, they're a mixture of salt water and fresh water.
This was important in supporting the Vasa ship. why they were able to recover 98% of the original ship intact.
Close in. Stop 21.